Okay, paper 2019 MCQ paper, and we have discussed first part last day and the second part. On the second part, let's start from question number 20 from the MCQ paper. So, which of the following is suitable in order to improve the quality of electronic presentation? Actually, this I have done today in 2000 in grade 10 class and theory class presentations. So you have the chance to come for the theory class for free. If you think that the grade 10 stuff has not properly covered, still we have not started the database part. So at least if you can participate few weeks, like 4 weeks, so you can cover that database part. If you think that that is not covered in your last year, so you can participate to that and cover that. Okay, so your exam is very close now. So there are some hiccups, there are some issues because of this postponing due to this COVID situation, but still we have to keep in touch. Okay, limiting the number of text in the text lines on a slide between 6 to 9. Yes, that is a great thing. So because in presentations we are not going to include much stuff. Presentation, if you put big text, more lines, it's unreadable. The idea of the presentation is to present that nicely. To do that, we have to reduce the number of lines. That is true. Not having large number of pictures and graphs on a single slide. So read carefully. Having pictures, graphs is very good. Having pictures, graphs is very good. But the thing is, having too many pictures and too many graphs in a single slide. It will be cluttered. Right, there will be a big issue because the thing is that you cannot recognize it's even too, maybe if you include too many pictures, it is like a mess up. So it's still that is unreadable. So that is not a good thing. But they mention not having a large number of pictures. Yes, that is true. Not having large number of pictures and graphs within a single slide, that is true. So B is also true. Using a lot of red color in every slide. So that is something not recommended. The red color is a nice color, but you know, in the rainbow also, red color is categorized as a low frequency color. Actually, when you see something which is far away from you, let's think about ocean. Let's think about a mountain which is far away from you. And let's think about the sky. The color is blue. Ocean, sky, mountains in faraway places, the color is blue. So when you see in a faraway place, your eyes will relax. That's why there's an advice in computer ergonomics. When you are watching the screen for a long time, try to relax by looking at a place which is far away from you. A mountain, a tree, maybe a sky. So that is recommended. That will relax your eye muscles. So that's why. And having blue color is okay. But having more red color is again a problem because that will make your eyes tired. So if you want to test that, so simple test. Change your wallpaper to black color. Sorry, change your wallpaper to red color wallpaper and try to tolerate that. So I don't think that it's really difficult to look at that screen for a long time because the red color is a warning sign. It's basically used for small places, just for giving notices, warnings, maybe highlight points, but not much. Red color is not a good feeling color. Therefore, using a lot of red color in every slide is something to be avoided. So we can take the answers as A and B. The other C is not an answer. A and B are the answers for the question number 20. So let's move to the next question. Question number 21 to 24. Actually, now you have your time. Now you have to answer the questions and send me the answers quickly. Question 24 to 21 to 24. So can you answer quickly and send me the answers through messaging option. So I think this is readable now. 24 to 20, 21 to 24. This is from database section. That's what I said. If you feel difficult in database, I invite you to come for the grade 10 class for free. At least for last few days will be beneficial for you. Okay, try to answer 24 to 21 to 24 soon, quickly. Send me the answers in the chat section. Right, quickly do that. So let's discuss that after sending the answers. I'll give you 2 minutes. I think it's enough. So you have to answer based on the following tables and small reminder. So this we learn in the theories. Any table in a database, so it is a good practice. And so if you relate these tables, so it is recommended to have primary keys, because keys or the primary key is the main concern, is the unique identifier which is used to identify a specific row uniquely. So it should be unique and it should not be empty. His nati ananya unique agak තියෙන්න. Here the first one. So what is the primary key for the first one? It is book ID. It's unique and not repeating, unique, and it's not empty also. So it is the unique identifier there. The second table, you can see the student table, the uniqueness, let's keep it to the student ID. And you can see student name is also unique. You can select student name too, but I prefer using ID because it's simple. Name can be repeated. In future, sometimes there can be people with same name, but with the same student ID, it's rare, right? It will not happen. I assume that student ID is the primary key there. So we identified 2 primary keys. Now the linking. We can link the tables using those 2 primary keys. Linking the book ID here to this one, student ID here to this one. And now using that, I have interlinked the tables. Now this can be called a relational database because these tables or the relations are now linked. Actually, when a primary key go and represent that table in another table, then that is called a foreign key. Okay, I'll draw that in this brown color. Oh, sorry. So this is called foreign key. And this is also student ID is also foreign key, which is coming from the student table. Book ID is also foreign key, which is coming from the book table. So those are foreign keys. And those foreign keys together forming a new primary key for the reservation table. The foreign key දෙක එකතු වෙලා තමයි primary key එකක් හදන්නේ reservation table. That is the nature. When you using these 2 foreign keys, since there are no other primary keys, that can be used as a single primary key. This is called compound primary key or composite primary key. Compound means it is created using 2 other primary keys from other tables. That's why compound. Combined 1. How many fields are there in student table? Fields. Fields means columns. Student table. Student table, you can see, let's count. 1 student table, 1, 2, 3, 4 columns, 4 fields. Answer number 3 is the answer there. Let's count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 fields. Yes, the answer should be number 3. 21, 3. Lashain answer correct. Praveen answer correct. Mine's answer correct. Kinura correct. Okay, very good. You found the answer. So let's go to the next one. What should be an example for foreign key in a database? Book ID in a reservation table. Book ID in a reservation table. Yes, there is a foreign key. Correct. Book ID in a foreign key. Correct. That's a reservation table. Book ID in a reservation table. Okay. Student ID in the reservation table. That is also a foreign key. Reserved date. No, it's not a key. Grade. Not a key. Title is not a key. So only the first one. 22, answer is 1. 22, answer is 1. Correct. Great. I hope you are not using any gimmicks, tricks. So don't look at the marking scheme. Try to give the honest answers. I think your database knowledge is good. Seems everyone got the answer correctly. I expect the same results in the exam. Right? That is where you have to prove that. What is the title of the book reserved by Kumar? Kumar reserved karpu book ke kahana. So let's use a link. I'm going to use, okay, this time I'm going to use blue color one. Where's Kumar? Here's the Kumar. Kumar student ID is 1002. Where's 1002? 1002 is here. So what is the reserved book? 1002 reserved book 001. Where's book 001? Book 001 is this one. Okay, what is the name of that book? It is effective writing. Understood how link can be used? Starting from Kumar, Kumar is 1002. 1002 is here. 1002 means reserved book 001. Book 001 is here. That is effective writing. So the answer is number 2. Answer is number 2. Correct? Praveen missed that. Other 2 correct. Other 3 correct. Sorry. Others correct. Praveen missed that. So I think you have to see carefully, maybe a mistake. Okay, a student get library membership and reserves a book. Student get library membership. Student get library membership. Let me clear all these things, otherwise it's unclear. Student gets library membership and reserves a book. Student get membership means you have to update this field. Just put in, right? You have to update the library membership, because then update the table. And reserves a book. So you have to update the reservation table too. Reserves a book. Update the reservation table too. And when book is reserved, the book status should be updated. The book reserve karama, book ke status update karana. Book state update is here. Book state update comes here. It's here. So you need to update the book status. Therefore, all 3 tables need to be updated. Book table, reservation table, student table. Student kenek both member kenek wenakota make a true and known. So student table need to be updated. When reservation, the reservation table should definitely be updated. And when book is reserved, the reserved status should be updated. Therefore, all 3 tables should be updated. So the answer is number 4 for 24. Now let's review your answers. 4. Ginura's answer is incorrect. The others have answered correctly. Okay. Right. I think Ginura, you understood the points, right? All 3 tables need to be updated. Okay, 25, 26, 27, up to 31. Okay, set of questions are there. Today we'll discuss more questions, right? From 25 to 31. So please send the answers now. 25 to 30. Which of the following shows the correct order of testing a software platform? Okay, so when you want to test the software, so this is actually general. So think generally, don't think much about software, don't think about software testing. Just think generally, if you want to test something, first you have to test individual units. So here also the same. Unit testing comes first. So anything to accept and all, acceptance should be done finally, right? When you want to give something, okay, let's say you are making a cake. So first of all, you have to test the ingredients: flour, butter, sugar. So maybe you have to check the status, the weight, whether they are expired or not. Likewise, you have to check the status. So that is unit testing. Then you have to mix it and test. Maybe test the taste or the recipe related thing. Maybe you have to check the status or the like crispiness, likewise, you have to check different things. So that is basically integration. You mix it and test. Then you have to test it as a system. So let's say you have, let's say you created, you made a cake, and now what you want to do is you want to something like this. So let's take another example. Okay, you have made the cake and now you want to test it internally. You want to test it internally means you have to test that as a cake. Maybe you are the party creating that. And finally, you hand over this to the actually, so maybe let's say it's a birthday cake. Finally, you hand it over to the particular people or the person, and then they will test. That is acceptance. So similar to that, in software also, units, integration, system, and acceptance. Units, integration, system, and acceptance. That is the order of testing. So fourth one is the answer. Next question. Every page on www has a unique identifier. Email address, no. World Wide Web, email to services. Hyperlink, links can be unique, and sometimes there are common links also. But IP address is kind of unique, but it's not for the every page. Maybe every domain or every connected computer will have IP address. URL, uniform resource locator. Yes, it's uniform. Uniform means uniform එකක් කියන්නේ ඇඳුමක් වෙන්නේ. ඇඳුමක් වුණා uniform කිව්වම it's unique. Uniform means it's a unique one. Uniform resource location. Location of the resource is uniform. So that is the unique identifier for any resource in the internet. Uniform resource locator URL is a unique identifier for any resource in the location. Any resource location, sorry. So URL is the answer. Which of the following combinations contains only internet related protocols? Protocol is a set of rules. Protocol means a set of rules. So there are different services of the internet. These different services are having different protocols or different set of rules. So basically, file transfer protocol, FTP. FTP is FTP, file transfer protocols that handle rules for transferring files. HTTP, hypertext transfer protocol, that is handling hypertext or the web document. Then you have SMTP, simple mail transfer protocol, that is handling emails, transferring of emails, simple mail transfer protocol. Then you have transmission control protocol, internet protocol. So that is the protocol for internet, transmission control protocol, internet protocol. Actually, those are the only protocols available here. So there are more protocols, but according to the answer, FTP, file transfer protocol, correct. HTML, it's a language, it's not protocol. Let's drop that answer. FTP, file transfer protocol, correct. HTML, that is a language. Let's drop that also. FTP, file transfer protocol, correct. HTTP, hypertext transfer protocol, correct. SMTP, simple mail transfer protocol, correct. TCP/IP, transmission control protocol, internet protocol. Actually, this is the protocol for internet. This is for emails. The second one is for web, and the first one is for files. Here, URL is not related to that. Uniform resource locator and HTML is a language, hypertext markup language. Okay, answer is number 3. So let's check your answers. Yes, Lashin, 25, 4, correct. 6, 2, correct. 26 is 4. Provin's answer is correct. Yeah, you have some errors there, right? HTML related. I think you have to go through this again and again because it's not unique. Marlins 4, okay. Then 3, correct. Correct. Okay, so let's move to the next one. 28. Which of the following combinations represent only the services of the internet? So recently we discussed what are the services. File transferring is a service, email is a service, remote access, yes, accessing some other location from using internet. Remote access is a service, right? Okay, then what else? Remote access, streaming of media, yes, that is also correct. Streaming of media is a service. And email is a service, file sharing is a service, streaming of the media is a service, web browser, no. HTML codes, no. Search engines, no. Remote access, yes. Search engines, no. Web browsers, no. So the answer is, let's stick to number 1, email, file transfer, remote access, streaming of media. So question number 28, 1 is the answer. 28, 1 is the answer. Okay, the next one. Consider the following list rendered by a web browser. Science, maths, English. So this is bullet. Bulleted lists are defined in, actually there are 3 kind of lists in HTML. Ordered list, those are the numbered list. Ordered list, we discussed this, right? Similar questions. Ordered list is a numbered list. Then the second one is unordered list. That is the bulleted list. And the third one is definition list. Actually, there are tags related to that. Ordered list will have OL and LI, OL and LI for list items. Unordered list will have UL and LI for list items. And definition list will have different tags called definition term, definition list, DL, definition term, DT, and definition description, DD. So these are the tags for definition lists. Ordered list, OL, LI, ordered list and list item. Unordered list, UL, LI, unordered list and list items. And then definition list, DL is definition list, DD definition description, and DT is definition term. Okay. Next question, then the answer is UL and LI, right? UL, LI, fourth one. So let's check your answers. Seems okay. Yep. Most of you are okay. Okay, let's move to the next one. Which of the following statement related to the web page development are correct? The content shown in the dynamic web pages may vary according to the user inputs over the time. That is correct. Dynamic web pages means web pages which are changing. Dynamic web pages means web pages which are changing. Then the next one, right? The next one is dynamic web pages are created only using HTML. No, you need like JavaScript. Sometimes you need HTML5, JavaScript, PHP for server side. Different technologies are needed for dynamic web pages. The static web pages are like newspapers. It's not going to change after print. After creating, the page is not going to change. It's like newspapers. But dynamic web pages, after creating it based on the user inputs, it's changed. Think about Facebook. Daily you update your photos, maybe files. There are different shares, different number of likes. So based on the time, different availability, likewise, it's change in time to time, and with the person to person. Based on the input, it's changing. Those are called dynamic. YouTube is changing, dynamic, right? But static web pages are not changing, remain unchanged. Only using HTML, mostly you can create static web pages. But dynamic web pages need some other technologies. Web authoring tools can be used to create web pages, yes, true. Web authoring tools can be editing tools. Dreamweaver, front page, even Microsoft Word can be used to author web pages. Photoshop can be used to author web pages, right? So those are editing tools. So A correct, C correct, but B is incorrect. Dynamic web pages only created using HTML, no. A, C correct. So answer 2 is the answer for 30. Answer 2 is the answer for 30. Okay, Lashen, answer correct. Malensa correct. Praveen correct, I think. Yes, correct. Everyone correctly answered.